Okay, so lesson number 1, don't glorify struggle. And I'm going to be doing this one while I'm putting my makeup on because I'm going out and I want to look halfway decent. So, struggle is not a badge of honor. It is not something to be sought after. Yes, people can work through struggling times and they can come out changed and transformed in a positive way because of it. But the same way you don't need to do drugs to know that drugs are bad is the same way that you don't need to endure tumultuous struggle times to grow and be a transformed person. If you know that there's something that you want to work on in yourself, you can go and do that work, but you don't need to have to suffer in order to change. And I think this is particularly true in relationships. And as Black women, I think we are conditioned to struggle in relationships. This struggle love narrative is sold to us everywhere. You know, just be long suffering. He'll change. You know, this is the sign that you're a good woman, a true woman. You can't change anyone. You can't change anyone. The only person you can change is yourself. And if someone wants to change, they will. You sticking around and putting yourself in a detrimental situation doesn't help. It just lets that individual know that you're going to stick around through the BS. Not a good standard to set. So I would suggest when things become struggly, when things become toxic, you set some boundaries and make sure that those boundaries are firm, that you stick to them. Or alternatively, if it's really not working, you walk away. And that's easier said than done. I know that. But it's worth it for your own peace. Now that I'm older, I realize that particularly as Black women, we are conditioned to embrace struggling. And we kind of wear it as this badge of honor. Particularly not just in work, but also in relationships. In work, you know, there have been many times when I've taken on way more than any other person at my job. And I keep just saying, yes, yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Because you don't want to say no, because it's going to make you seem like you're weak, like you're not competent. But anyone else is able to assert themselves and say, actually, that's more than I bargained for. That's more than what I should be carrying. I don't have capacity. Sorry, can't do it. But I've very much been a person that keeps adding to the plate, keeps saying I can handle it, when really I'm drowning. However, you work through the struggle, you make it through, you achieve success, and then it feels good. It's like, you know what, I did it. I've worked harder than everybody else, so I'm surely going to be recognized for that. I've struggled more, so this means more. But the truth is, it doesn't mean any more. It doesn't. And I see this all the time in relationships, people who commit to struggle-love relationships, back and forth and back and forth. They're not getting what they deserve. And it could be 10, 20 years that they commit to somebody who's giving them a substandard relationship. And in the end, things do settle. You know, someone acquiesces or they manage to work it out. But does that make that relationship more successful than one that was harmonious from the beginning? Why would you want to go through 10, 20 years of struggle and long suffering when you could have had peace and harmony from the start? So if someone says to you, you know, you just need to be long suffering, you need to just have patience, you need to just work things through, I would say to tell them politely to shut the hell up, because this is your life. And yes, as much as there is character building in challenging times, I would suggest that you don't put yourself in situations where you are forcing yourself to struggle, where you are forcing yourself to suffer, and don't allow someone else to tell you that it's your place to struggle and suffer under them, because it's not. All of us were made to be respected and honored and loved and cared for. And if you don't assert your boundaries as an individual, someone will try and take advantage of you. So if you're struggling, someone is encouraging you to stay in a struggle situation, politely tell them to leave, and politely or impolitely, if needed, remove yourself from that situation, because you don't deserve that. That's not what I want for you. And that's not what you should want for yourself. And anyone encouraging you to stay in that position clearly is not for you, because someone that loves you and cherishes you would not expect you to stay in a detrimental situation. So that's lesson number 1. Don't glorify struggle. It doesn't mean you're the better woman. It just means that you're willing to endure more than most. Okay. A bit of mascara, and I might look halfway decent.